Batrium. I'm here with Jaron, the creator of this whole Batrium management system. We got here a little sample here. So we're going to be connecting the app here, and Jaron's going to be running through, showing something really amazing that you can see all the voltage curve and all the parameters, so you can visualize very nicely so it doesn't get confused, because there's a million parameters to configure here if you want to go crazy.
And it's good to have Bruno back.
Yeah, Bruno's back, man! Alright, so we downloaded the Batrium app, I created my user, and I already connected to the system. But Jaron's gonna run us through here. So we just connect to a testing system we have here right behind us.
All right, so here we are. We're going to jump into Bullaroo D. This is our test LTO chemistry, and we're just going to have a look. This is the default screen where we see some settings, but there's a whole bunch of config screens which you have probably found and maybe overwhelmed, because there's 10, 12 different screens there.
Lots of things to configure if you want to go crazy advanced here.
Yep.
But Jaron made it in a way that's very visual. I'm a very visual guy. So just show like a busy screen first.
Yep, so if we look at a normal charging or critical screen, just this one screen has got so many cell voltages that you can configure, and these are the ones that are turned on, and not every single setting which you can actually turn on.
Now it's advanced screen, right? So you keep going.
So these are extra settings that you can turn on which aren't currently turned on in this particular test system here.
But the problem is, if you change one number here, the numbers start fighting, because depending what numbers you put that. So there's a hierarchy of things that kick based on the voltage. So Jaron made it in a way that's very visual here. So you go to volt guide down the bottom here. You click it on. Look how visual this thing is. All the parameters here lined up from the top to the bottom, the voltage curve here. See? So you can actually see like, oh, hang on, this number here is in a different order. So obviously when it kicks here, it's going to start fighting with the parameter on top. So Jaron come up with a way.
Yep. So the key part here is that we're wanting to make sure that you don't have the circuit breaker disconnect before you've hit top of charge, and yet someone might change one of the bypass values or something else and find that that's kicking in after or before the critical value, just because they jumped in one screen and thought that one change would be it. Jump into this screen, scroll your way up and down, and you'll find that from the very top, you'll just see that incrementally it works its way down and tells us what there is. Not only does it give you the value as what it would be at a cell voltage level, but we also calculate it to pack voltage, because sometimes you're thinking about the shunt voltage, which is the pack, and sometimes you're thinking about the cell voltage, which is where you're balancing. And every one of those should be incrementally stepping in as we sort of go from being where the battery is nice in the happy state, the Goldilocks, and we're slowly working towards where it gets quite to the limit. And then the final part when we want to go critical, which is the fireman's axe, where we're trying to disconnect the battery from the load.
Too high, or the other side here. Critical, too low. Disconnect the whole system so you don't kill the battery.
So all of this is here to help. Yes, we've got the volt guide, but that's not the only one, because we want to be visual for all the different types of characteristics.
Temperature, there's lots of things here.
So we've also got a temperature guide, which works in the same way. So you can see that absolute hot temperature before you shut down, to where you want to be in that happy state, to where in the middle things are good, and then the same thing as you're working through discharge all the way down to the colder settings where, again, you want to shut down. So both of these things are there to make it easier for you, helps you along, and you can jump backwards and forwards between the individual configuration screens or back to here just to see at a high level what's going on.
It's a master view of the whole thing, all parameters summarized in one screen. So that even helps you like troubleshooting your system. So it's amazing.
Yep. So this and quite a few other settings are things that we'll go through coming up very soon.
Wow, love it. All right, thanks, Jaron. Woo!